Hi everybody, Laura here from My Favorite Things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a fun project to share with you using some of the new August release goodies by My Favorite Things. So let's just dive right in. I have a panel of Neenah Solar White cardstock and then this gorgeous captivating mandala stencil. I'm taping everything down with some post-it tape, and then I'm going to do a little ink blending using Distress ink, a little Distress ink cube in the color Antique Linen. So it's a beautiful cream on white. It's very subtle. And I go kind of even Steven around, a little bit heavier on the outer edges, but for the most part, just one flat color. Look at how beautiful that is. And then to add a little something or something, I smush some vintage photo Distress ink on an acrylic block, and then with a wet brush, I'm flicking a little bit of flicks on. And look, it just adds. I don't know what it adds, but it adds something. And then I have these grand Greenery dies, beautiful foliage, die cutting them into some Arches watercolor paper because I'm going to paint these. Now I die cut, you can see there's 4 in the set, but in the end I decided to only use one style of leaf. So I went ahead and die cut several of the one style, as you can see here. Now, since I die cut them out of watercolor paper, I'm going to paint them. I'm using Distress ink, smushing them onto this watercolor palette. It's by Art Impressions. I really like using it because it's white. And when I smush my Distress inks on it, I can see very clearly and the colors are true on the white board. And I'm just loving it. As you can see, I smushed a rainbow assortment of Distress inks, and I'm just going to town painting these leaves very loosey-goosey style, and that is what I wanted. In my mind, I had this idea of having the super loosey-goosey painted leaves, and each leaf to have kind of a two-tone, so each leaf has 2 colors. Right now I'm doing the blueprint sketch and the wilted violet, and then the candied apple and the carved pumpkin on the other, and then this one is, I think it's mustard seed and twisted citron, cracked pistachio, and mermaid lagoon. They're like my fave colors, and look at how pretty they all look. Hit it with the heat gun and let that dry. Now to adhere them, I'm using just a little bit of glossy accents, just a little bit, not on the whole leaf, just a little bit on the stem. That way the leaves can pop up. And it was great too when I was drying them with a heat gun. It kind of made them warp. You know, a lot of times when I do things with a heat gun and it warps, it makes me mad. But this time, the warping made me glad because I wanted the leaves to be warped and to lift and to sort of curl and have that realistic vibe going on. So I'm adhering them in a circle wreath form. Going to trim off that little bit of excess on the right. And there you have. Now for the sentiment, I'm going to die cut this hello. And this is from the Simply Hello and Love You die set. I'm die cutting about 4 of these hellos onto some Neenah Solar White cardstock, and then I will stack them up. Here's how I stack them up. I adhered them on the edge of a piece of post-it tape. So the sticky post-it tape is facing up. That way the letters can stick to it, but hang off the edge. Then I spray them with the spray adhesive and taking my tweezers, stacking them up. So I got 4 stacked up. It makes them nice and dimensional. If I tried to do this with liquid adhesive, I'm telling you, every time it oozes out the sides. But I do use liquid adhesive to adhere them to the card base or to the panel. I'll tell you why I use the Tombow Mono and not just spray adhesive. By the time I get done stacking these letters, my fingertips are so sticky. Do you ever make a card and you use a lot of adhesive? I always use so much adhesive. My fingers get so sticky when I'm making cards. And then when you try to put, sequins or embellishments on your cards, they won't even stick to the cards because they only want to stick to your fingers. Tell me I'm not alone on that one. And here's the question. What do you use to get the stickiness off your fingers? Do you use nail polish remover? What do you use? Because I get these sticky fingers. I don't know how to get them clean. I went ahead and embossed a coordinating sentiment from the set From Me to You. Embossed that in white on a strip of black cardstock. Pop that up, popping this whole panel up, and then here we are with the sequins. Now this is why I said that, because I was having a hard time to get these sequins to stick. They were wanting to stick to my fingers, but I love the shimmer and the glimmer and the shine of the sparkling clear sequins. amongst the rainbow painted leaves with that captivating mandala stencil in the background. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.